As near as I can tell, this is day 722. I don't know. I don't know what day it is. And you know what? Most people tell me that they don't know what day it is either, and that's okay. So, and I still got I still got my COVID due going on here. Although I'm supposed to get a haircut pretty soon. We'll see how that works out for us. Hey, I got something for you. Okay, I want to talk about testimonials this week. But before I do that, I want to tell you that if you stick around to the end of my Uncopyable Business video this week, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to have a contest. I'm going to give you a chance to win a free 50-minute Zoom consultation with moi. Okay? Got to stick around, though. But I want to talk about testimonials because, close behind referrals, those of us that are getting ready to, I shouldn't say getting ready to come out of this and start working again, or many of you are working. But it's sort of like we're all opening up right now. And those of us in business, we are thinking in terms of business growth, right? That's what we're thinking about. How do we grow our business? Now, the number one tool that everybody talks about is referrals, right? And I'm not going to talk about referrals today, but that should be a different topic, right? But I'm going to talk about something that's kind of a close cousin of referrals, and that is testimonials, getting testimonials from people, because testimonials are essentially endorsed referrals, is what they are. They are extremely valuable to us, but unfortunately, they are most often poorly used, shall we say. They're sort of just not put together correctly. So let's talk a little bit about testimonials, because they can be really, really awesome marketing tools for us in generating new leads, which leads to business growth, right? But there are two big problems with testimonials. We say we love referrals. We say we ask people for testimonials. Now, a couple of things happen. Number one is that we ask somebody for a testimonial, and you know what? People will say that they would love to put together a testimonial for us, and then nothing happens, right? Or they'll say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what should I say, right? And we run into that situation. Or when somebody does put together a testimonial for us, I hate to say it, but for the most part, most of the testimonials that I see, especially on homepages, websites, they are very vague. They say stuff like, like imagine somebody giving me a testimonial and it's vague, and they just basically say something like, Steve Miller is a really great guy. I think his books are great, and and his consulting is awesome. And yeah, I would recommend Steve. Now it's nice. It's a nice thing for people to say, but it's very vague. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what we should be looking for in developing a really, really good testimonial from somebody. So number one is, the question is, the first thing is to ask, okay, so when should you ask for a testimonial? There is some school of thought to say that when you really first start working with somebody, you should ask for referrals. And that, alongside that, you should probably start asking for testimonials. I got to tell you, I'm not really in that school, because to me, when you're looking for a referral and you're looking for a testimonial, you really are looking for something that people are talking about based on results. Okay? Not that they're just happy with you right now, but they are talking about results that they got as a result of working with you, results they got as a result of buying your products or your services, or something like that. So when to ask? Well, I think when something has happened that provides some type of solution for your clients or customers, has developed some type of results for them, that's when you should ask. Is when when they're happy. When you've delivered something, you've delivered to them on time, maybe early, maybe there's something special about it that you did for them, and they're in a good mood. So obviously that's a really, really good time to ask. Now, this is also a lot like, when is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago was the best time to plant a tree. And, the second best time is today. So if you've been working with somebody for a while, maybe quite a while, and you're looking for a testimonial, then the second best time to ask is right now. Still while they're feeling good. Now, here's a thing about testimonials. Here's something to do to think about this, is that what you want to be doing is that when you are working with people, you start working with people, you want to think in terms of them in advance. You're thinking in terms of in advance of them providing you with both referrals and with a testimonial. So the best thing to do, we talk about the branding proposition, the uncopyable branding strategy. Well, essentially, it's making your promise to them. You're making a very specific promise to them as to what they are going to have, what they're going to get, what is going to be the result based on this promise. Okay, so you start out by making a promise. Now, the more specific a promise is of what you're going to do for them, the easier it is for them to then provide you with a testimonial. Because that's the number one thing, is you're looking for testimonials that are very, very specific as to what you did for them. The more specific they are, then the easier it is, the better it is for your testimonials to help separate you from the competition. That's why you're looking for, the way you create yourself to be uncopyable is that when people are talking about you, they're saying things about you that the competition simply cannot copy. It would be very, very difficult for them to copy. And so you want to do that. I got to put my glasses back on for my notes here, but I don't want to do this because I know I see the lights going on in there. So you want to embed with that big promise. Now, when you do ask somebody for a testimonial, you kind of want to give them some guidance on that, because, like I said, very often people will say, "Gee, I don't know, what would you like me to say?" Now, sometimes they'll say, "Well, you go ahead and write it, and then send it back to me." Now, you can also offer that. You could say, "Hey, look, if it's hard for you to do this, how about if I write something up that I think might fit you, and then you take a look at it. You can edit it, or you can okay it, or something like that." And that works really well. Now, so here's what is included in a really, really good testimonial. The first thing is that you want to identify, say, like a problem, a challenge, or some kind of aspiration that the person had, right? We had this particular challenge going on in our office, and so we reached out to ABC Company, and boy, did they knock it out of the park, because okay, so number one is they identify the problem. The second thing is because they gave us this solution, whatever the solution is, all right? And then most important is that it's then, okay, then what is the specific result of that? The specific result of that. And the very best type of testimonial is one that has numbers in it. The specific answer is numbers. Numbers is the key to a really good testimonial. Let me show you some examples of some testimonials that I pulled off the internet, okay, and to give you an idea of what I mean by very specific types. Okay, so here's one that looks like it's for a and I'm not really looking at who they were. I just pulled them out, but here's one for clearly a restaurant, right? And they're saying our takeout just went through the roof because we could be taking 5 orders at one time instead of just 1 order at a time. So what they were saying was the challenge they had in advance was that they would be taking 1 order at it was time intensive or labor intensive or something like that. And then the solution was they were now able to get more, and in fact the very specific number is they're now able to take 5 orders instead of 1. Okay, so there's one. Like here's another one, and I guess this is for HubSpot from Airstream. Airstream generates 78% more leads at scale with HubSpot. So they are looking for more leads, right? That's the challenge that they're looking for. And HubSpot was able to, and by using HubSpot, they were able to increase the number of leads they were getting by 78%. Very, very specific. On Amazon, we know that products on Amazon, they live and die by the reviews people give. And here's an example of one for I was looking up inexpensive, cheap wireless microphones. All right, and I found this one. where the guy said, I needed a cheap wireless system for a festival. There was his challenge. There was his problem. Okay. These mics certainly fit the bill. The microphones are like that. The range was much better than some reviewers stated. I believe I was able to get about 100 feet away and the signal was still strong. Now he says the battery life wasn't strong, but there's a very specific that I was able to get 100 feet away. Now, apparently these are very inexpensive. I didn't really look at the price, but inexpensive wireless microphones. And he's saying, oh, you know what? When you get a cheap microphone, you don't expect it to be that good. You don't expect it to be that far away. So this was 100, I got 100 feet. That's really, really awesome. And then here's another great one. Guy says, and I don't even know what company this is for, but he a very specific name of a person. And I need to pivot real quick here and just say that that you always want people's names and, if possible, full names. You want full names and who they work for and what their job and what their position is for that company. So here is Hakon Eckerheim, I guess. I'm sorry which I'm sure I totally blew that. Okay. He's owner and CEO of this company, and he goes, hey, revenue is up 12%. Inventory is down 14%. Inventory turns increased from 21.4 to 24.6. Operating costs are down. Profit has increased by 181%. Pretty darn specific. Pretty big testimonial. See, very hard for another company to come in and say, well, we'll beat that. They're going, really? That's going to be difficult to do. And then, of course, I got to throw one in from one of my clients, right? From Pete Harris, who is co-owner of Incisive Computing Solutions. They work in the portable storage industry. They provide software solutions, financial software solutions, inventory software solutions for the portable storage unit industry. And we consulted with them and showing them how to be uncopyable and how to market themselves, how to communicate. And you know what? And this is gold. This he said, uncopyable is a whole new way of thinking about marketing that puts you on a road to dominance. That's what we want, right? We want people to be uncopyable. His clear, actionable marketing steps and ideas have resulted in a 1,879%, year-to-date increase. Yes, you read that right. When he first sent this to us, we actually thought that maybe he had a decimal point off. I had never heard of anything quite like that. So, but after confirming it with him, yep, absolutely, he was. He said that's what happened. So, so that is gold, right? That is gold. It'd be very, very hard for another marketing and branding consultant to come in and say, oh, well, we can take care of it. We can help you do that. It's like, really? I don't think so. So that's what getting testimonials is all about. Is go ask for them. But make sure that you're asking for the right stuff. Ask for something specific. Ask them to be very, very clear. Ask them to use their name. The best type of I didn't show it here, but the best type of testimonial is video, right? That's the best. Second best is audio, and the third best is written, which is what I've shared with you here. Still pretty darn powerful. So that's what we're talking about with testimonials. Now, a lot of you have been BFFs of ours for a long time. You followed our blog, our video blogs, our vlogs, I guess we call them, and you have read my book, and you have attended things like office hours and seen webinars and things like that. So here's the contest. I'm looking for testimonials. All right? I want more testimonials. And you send me a testimonial. Okay? I'm looking for possible problem, challenge, aspiration that you might have, right? Looking for what type of solution you got from us, and then what was the result, all right? The more specific, obviously, the better, okay? And permission, obviously, to use it. Needs to be authentic, all right? Needs to be real, can't make this up, all right? Now, so here's the contest. Is the best testimonial that we receive is going to get a 50-minute free Zoom consultation with me. All right. That has a value, I think, has a value of about $750, which is, and it's almost impossible to get me to just do a one shot consultation with you. For the most part, I would say 99.99% of the time when I'm doing consulting with people, it's a project-based thing. So it's really, I don't do hourly stuff, but if I was going to say this was what the rate would be, I would put $750, but it's worth thousands and thousands, as Pete Harris will tell you, for sure. So okay, the best one is going to get 50 minutes. The next, the runners up, we're going to pick two runners up. They will get 20-minute consultations with me, and those are worth $2,000 per. No, I'm kidding, of course, right? But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. This is 100% subjective on my part. I am the judge. I'm the sole final decision maker of this. You can try to influence my smoking hot wife, Kay. Not saying that's a bad idea, but she is not going to make the decision. I am going to make the decision. That's all it is. And so here's what you got to do: is you want to send me an email, and the email address you want to send it to is contest@theadventure.com. All right. And if you send something to me, I will give everybody something. I'll figure something out to give everybody, but go for the big stuff. Go for the gusto. Go for the big, kahuna. Try to win the 50-minute, private consultation with me. And it'll be a win-win for both of us. So I'm looking for a testimonial. Do it the way I described. I will be looking forward to hearing what the responses are that you have for me. And this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger. Thanks for joining me this week. I will be back again next week with another Uncopyable Business video. Until then, always remember, be uncopyable. See ya.